Let's see. So going to sideboards, what changes? Anything they want to change for Game 3? Do you think that if Dark Offering came in, it's definitely out now, right?
Yeah, you saw fire. Yeah, so it's definitely not in. Like as I'm thinking about it for Jesse, I would almost 100% take out the Grim Lavamancers. I think you have enough thing. It's not blue. Fire Ice is just almost strictly better.
It's going to deal as much damage, and you can tap thing, draw a card, pitches the Force of Will.
Yeah.
So maybe you bring a couple relics or something like that.
So you I'd re-sideboard. This is how I'd re-side. Take out 4 Lavamancers.
Okay.
1 Explosives, 1 Collar. So that's 6 cards for 4 Red Elemental Blast, 1 Relic of Progenitus, and then we have one card that we still have to keep in. So that's not what, like, I actually don't like how, I mean, obviously Storm's not a matchup you prepare for, but, like, that's, if this would happen in a format with, like, 3 decks, this would be bad sideboarding.
Right.
They just happen to have 6 cards he wants to take out and 5 he's willing to bring in. So he probably just has to keep in one of the Lavamancers.
Which, I mean, it's not, like
I said,
unbelievably awful, but
thought it'd be better than some of the other options, but, like, I think seeing Fire Ice that game, like, the 2 damage can matter. Absolutely. It's a blue card to force. It's it cycles when we're looking for stuff.
Right.
And the way Jesse's playing is he's gonna play to the top of his deck. We've absolutely seen that.
Yeah. That game was pretty unbelievable. I thought GCB was pretty much in the clear, and then.
Well, if you think about it, like, Jesse was just like, well, I'm not going to brainstorm for a Miracle Force of Will. You have 10 life. Because he was on 12.
Right.
He was like, you have 10 life. And he's like, and the thing is, Gabe didn't realize that he had 12 life. He thought he had 12, not 10.
Right. Which is pretty incredible, because I think Jesse had to think pretty far ahead and make that play. Like, we weren't even talking about that.
Yeah,
it wasn't
exactly.
in our heads. We're like,
exactly.
Fire Ice, that's a nice dead card,
play,
buddy.
yeah.
But, yeah, he was thinking just way ahead. Good work by Jesse Hampton. So the players are grabbing their openers now. Pretty quick mulligan for Gabe Carleton Barnes there.
The fastest.
And he'll be going down to 6 this game. And Jesse's still thinking about his hand. All right.
Looks like he's keeping.
Nodded his head.
Not his head and didn't shuffle.
Seems likely. So on 6 cards, things are going to get a little more tricky for Gabe, because every card in Storm is so relevant when you're trying to pierce together.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Like, perfect hands.
Sometimes you, like, if you're on the play, sometimes you'll just sit there and say draw, go, like, for a couple turns, if your hand is bad. Against these times, like, you have the time.
Right. Yeah, you have the time, and you're trying to craft your hand. You'll see what happens. Of course, Jesse, if he has Vendalion Clear or something like that, it'll certainly be an issue.
Vendalion Clear throws a wrench into those plans. Yeah. So does Grim Lavamancers even.
I played Team America at the GP, which is a gigantic mistake. Don't ever play that deck. But like Vendalion Click, when I was playing against Storm, Vendalion Click is just my best card. You put it down on turn 3 or 4, whatever. Like, you strip their hand, you put a quick clock on them. And
I basically played Team America today. Only I have Stoneforge instead of Time of Garth, and then I had no Vendalion Click. So yeah, probably pretty much a worse version of the deck you just told me to play, never to play. So
don't play some cards. Definitely play Vendalion Click. That card is sweet.
Same matchup.
Conley Woods just walked by. He lost the same matchup again, dropping to 2 losses on the day. GCB leads on Preordain.
The Spell Snare in Jesse's hand, and
I guess the Prudent got misstepped.
It did. That's the way to do it.
Wonder double Fire Ice in Jesse's hand.
It's like it was good last game.
Gotta be good this one. I think he's got the days too, Singleton days.
Oh, he's thinking about dazing here, actually.
I think that's totally reasonable.
Absolutely.
If you're still on the counter cantrip plan. Oh, or not.
He wasn't thinking about it. Gabe was thinking about whether or not he wanted to keep.
Oh, fair enough.
Because he saw his card, like, as soon as something happened, the first thing that happened was Gabe just, like, drew a card. So Gabe had already looked at the top 3.
Yeah, I saw that too. And looks like he's cracked Scalding Tarn. And we're going to go for Ponder. I think I still daze this, but maybe not. See what
I don't
Jesse
know,
has.
like, it's really enough. Daze gets so, like, if Gabe's going to try and sculpt a hand, it doesn't seem like Daze is going to be useful. So, like, if Gabe's spending the first couple turns pondering, I think Gabe's going to try and go for a quick kill again.
Really? Okay. Yeah. Just try and sculpt the hand and go
Unless
for it.
his hand's terrible. Well, if not, like, this is what I learned playing Pyromancer's Ascension. You actually don't want to... Oh, there's a crypt. So I bet you... I wonder what he didn't bring in. We didn't have him bringing in crypts. We haven't seen a red elemental blast.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that's a card you'd bring in, but maybe not. I mean, if he doesn't want to counter the cantrip.
If he's not willing to counter cantrips, why bring it in?
Yeah.
So
if he thinks cutting off Cabal Ritual is better, I mean,
sure.
I could totally see that line of play.
I mean, these are... Basically, we're just looking for, like, remotely live cards.
All right, there's a Duress from Gabe Carleton Barnes.
Here, fire.
And Gabe's writing down the fire ices this time. Not going to make the same mistake twice.
I think one of them's going to get cycled.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I can't imagine any other line but discard your spell snare, play around Daze the rest of the game.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep, discard spell snare, play around Daze, and then Jesse's pretty much just going to cycle that.
Yeah, he's got to. There's no way he can.
Having to is not, unless he's like feeling spicy. He's like, fire you. Put you on 14. Oh, man. But yeah.
The dreaded split sleeve.
Oh, man. Sucks. Especially when they sell sleeves in like 80 now, right? Like,
yeah.
You get 5 chances. Mess up. So he resleeves that card. Tormod's Crypt is interesting. Do you think Relic or Crypt is better in this matchup?
Relic, not close.
Yeah, because it cantrips, right?
You can't sit there and play a bunch of Crypts and barely interactive cards because Crypt interacts with like half of a card.
Right.
You know what I mean? It denies Gabe 2 mana.
Let's see. All right, so there's the ice on the island. Ice,
baby. Oh, there's a red elemental blast. He's got everything. Maybe he brought in, when I say he took out all the lava mancers.
Yeah.
He might have brought in that one crypt or whatever.
Huh. Yeah, maybe just Miser's Crypt and he found it. I guess not the greatest Miser, but
yeah.
I think GCB just drew a Chain of Vapor though. Uh-oh. We were talking about we don't think that one's so good. I don't know why we would be Chain of Vaporing in this matchup unless there's like a Chalice or something.
And yeah, if you're Gabe, you have to think like, why would they need hate cards? Ooh, baby.
Trinket Mage. No, Adam Prozac is excited. I think top probably.
Unless he has a Stifle, then you get the Dreadnought. But yeah, probably top.
How do you feel about playing a Chalice in this kind of deck? There's no Chalice in the deck currently.
You have a million counter spells. You have a favorable matchup.
And
Storm's not a big part of the metagame.
And it just shuts off a lot of your spells too, right?
Yeah.
If you put it on 1, yeah. All right.
I'm pretty sure you just put it on 0 most of the time. Like that's what I do when if I had a Chalice on my deck, I would 0 it right there.
Cuts off LED, cuts off Lotus Petal.
Yeah.
Couple things.
And by cutting off that, you cut off a lot of Infernal Tutor lines of play.
So top comes down for Jesse Hampton. And now the game is slowly crunching in Jesse's favor. If Gabe wins, he's going to have to sculpt just the right hand, and it's going to be a hard
He's got to do
victory.
it quickly because Trinket Mage is doing work.
Yeah. And chipping away at life total is very relevant when you're counting on ad nauseum.
Absolutely. You can't. Gabe doesn't have 10 turns now.
Right. He has... Like, you might think, 2 damage a turn, but ad nauseum, you need, really
That's like
8
3
life.
cards.
Yeah, exactly. All right, down comes Flooded Strand for Jesse.
One thing that doesn't come up very often, but could be relevant here, is a direct Infernal Tutor chain.
Right. So you just played Infernal Tutor to get like a Dark Ritual or something like that, or?
And this would be the way that Gabe could win in 8 turns, or like 7 turns now. You sculpt 7 perfect cards, and then you play them all in the same turn for like 7 or 8 storm, and then you have to duress them. But then your last Infernal Tutor, last card has to be Infernal Tutor, and it gets an additional Infernal Tutors, and then that gives you the necessary storm count. Also, Jesse looks like he's at 15. If that's accurate?
Looks about right.
We misstepped on turn 1, and we've cracked 3 fetch lands, so we don't even need to Infernal Tutor for Infernal Tutor more than once, or even 0 if the last card we draw is a spell.
Yeah, no, that's really some great insight on the deck. I think a lot of players might miss that and be like, oh, how am I going to win this game? But okay, so...
Oh, wow, he's just going for it now? So that means if he's going for it now, he's probably going to... He might have 8 cards in his hand. Yeah. So there's that. He just didn't want to discard, so he cast his Lotus Petal.
Although, to be fair, if Gabe went for it now, I think he might be able to win. But he doesn't
He
know
has
that.
no idea.
Yeah, I mean,
he doesn't have a
no
discard
idea.
spell,
Yeah, he just passes.
And if you're Jesse, you float Force of Will or Spell Snare on the top of your deck.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's hard to beat Force and stuff when there's a top abound.
Yes.
Gabe draws
I've won games against Storm in a variety of ways, and that's the easiest when they're almost drawing dead to it.
What if you're Gabe? Do you think you just have to go for it, or?
I think at this point you're on a manual kill.
Okay.
Which is basically waiting on the perfect hand, including like some cantrips or whatever would be nice, because that'll jack up your storm count.
Right.
And he might just have to like do it without a tutor. Like if he ever has to like play an LED in Infernal Tutor, he might be dead. But if he can like cast enough if he can cast 7 spells, because he's probably gonna have to be 8 forced.
Right.
Jesse's on 14, so he probably needs 8 spells. Or even better, if he like duresses and they get misstepped, even for like 2 life, that's
spell.
Well, for 2 life it'd be like +2 because the misstep would count as a spell.
Right.
But I think Jesse has enough lands to see around that play.
Yeah.
Like a cantrip might get Pyroblast. Like Gabe needs to draw his tendrils manually now.
Well, he has 2 more in the sideboard. I wonder if he brought those in.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he's got 2 sideboard tendrils wagon.
Oh wow! So
if you're
I wonder if that's part of the primer.
Yeah. Ari actually sent me the primer, but I won't read it on air. Otherwise, he would probably never win a match again. So we can't let that happen.
Yeah. That's
chain on the top. Okay, that gets a red.
And that's probably on Jesse's end step. So that would take away the floating force thing.
So that's it. Really,
and now that Jesse blasted it, that means there's a force on top of his deck, or at least a spell snare.
Thoughtseize. I think Jesse has double misstep, so he might misstep it here.
So no, that wasn't on. Okay, wow. So that was not on. Gabe main phased his Chain of Vapor.
Yeah. To see if he could go off this turn.
Well, there's already 3 spells. Storm counts at 3.
All right, Thoughtseize resolves. Or maybe not. I thought he moved his life total.
Yeah, same.
I think you probably tap 1 misstep, right?
Now that I see the tendrils, one thing that makes sense in the manual kill version is Chain of Vaporing your own artifacts.
Oh, sure, to build up your storm, yeah.
It absolutely generates a bunch of storm. Not against misstep, or in this case, Red Elemental Blast.
All right, so now storm is at 4 because of the misstep, right?
Okay, so you got misstepped.
All right, so that's time in the round. So tight 3 games between these 3 players.
So, Gabe, if I were Gabe, I would not pay any more life.
Because you can't die to that Trinket Maze in turns, right?
Right, he needs a fire. Okay, so did Gabe pass the turn, or
I think Gabe passed the turn. I think Gabe decided he's just going to play the let's try and make it a draw game.
Yeah. So this is turn 1.
Okay. fetch land. So now Jesse's digging for another Trinket Mage or something.
Or
similar.
a Vindalian Click, a Fire.
I already spent 2 fires this game, right? Or did you brainstorm one of them back?
It looks like 2 are in the. I think the bottom left. There's the 2 ices right there.
Okay. Alright, so it looks like Gabe drew a Lotus Petal. Turn 2 of extra turns now.
Okay, he's got an LED, a couple Lotus Petals, a Cabal Ritual, an Infernal Tutor.
I mean, if you're going to go into turns, you still just go for it at some point, right? And then you just...
As long as you don't have to pay life.
Yeah, as long as you don't
Gabe
pay
should
life.
not Thoughtseize.
Right.
So he can this is turn 2.
It's turn 2.
So Gabe gets this turn and turn 4.
Maybe you do it on turn 4 then?
I think he runs it on turn 4 as long as you don't have to spend life.
Right.
As long as Grim Tutor and Thoughtseize aren't involved.
And also...
Unless you see that the coast is clear for them.
Right. I mean, the other thing on turn 4 is you'll know if he like drew another Trinket Mage or something, right? And it has the ability to kill you that way.
Yeah.
So that way you know
he'll know that or
Lavamancer.
Lavamancer or Dreadnought. But I can't see Jesse having the the Lavamancer.
Yeah,
thing.
if he has Crypts, I doubt he's Lavamancer.
Yeah.
Interesting. So this is a game we seldom see. Like, let's figure out how to play the extra turns properly. And we know, like,
exactly.
It's almost never talked about, like, how to do this right. And in a combo deck, it's especially interesting. Like, when do you go off? When do you not go off? What matters? Do you play for the draw? Do you play for the win?
Right. One of the reasons I've always liked for example, Combo Elves, not a deck I have experience with, but I always tell people, put a kill in your deck. Sometimes you have to go off on turn 4 of extra turns.
Yeah, definitely. And your kill can't be Emrakul always either.
Well, if you go off on turn 4, you can. If you get turn 5, then
sure.
it's fine. But if you, but I remember way back in the day where Zvi would play Turboland. I'd watch him take all 5 of the extra turns and just still not win because. All right, brainstorm here.
All right, brainstorm happens. Sauce.
Is it me or is I always feel like Jesse just has a handful of Elish Noins.
Yeah, same. I feel exactly the same. Okay. So, looks like I think you're a force there. Let's see. Gets an island.
Jesse's digging for a way to kill him.
Yep.
Basically.
He's not interested in the draw for clear reasons.
And I think he just drew his force. Like, stop floating it with the top. I'm guessing that's what's going on. And then he's digging with top, shuffling.
I see a Reb there. I think maybe there was another force or a brainstorm, one of the two. All right, so Gabe's gonna be pretty hard pressed to go off, but Jesse draws his card.
Oh, that's a Trinket Mage. So that's basically what we're looking for.
All right, so now Gabe will have to go off on his turn.
Correct. This game will not end in a draw.
Unless he Chain of Vapors one of the Trinket Mages. Echo and Truth or Trinket Mages?
All right, this game might still end in a draw.
All right, he's going to crack the top.
Because he's probably going to go search for it.
Now he's got double force.
Yeah, so Jesse is huge favorite.
Yeah, Gabe would have to have just the perfect hand.
Gabe needs to draw his tendrils naturally.
Yep. Natural tendrils. Or if he can draw an Echoing Truth and manage to like set up the storm, he goes double force, he goes Echoing Truth, he can draw the game potentially too. That's maybe the other thing.
I think if you what happens if Gabe just like Echoing Truth your Trinket Mages? Does Jesse force it?
That's an interesting question. I think you probably force it. It kind of sucks, but I mean, you want to win this game, so.
Draws are pretty bad.
Yeah.
As I found out yesterday.
Yeah. Ninth place Adam Prozac telling you kids, don't draw, don't play and draw.
All right, let's see. I don't think Gabe's got this. He's got to resolve some. He's got like mana and 1 tutor.
Yeah, I don't think Gabe's got this.
And it's an Infernal Tutor, so like the thing that sucks about Infernal Tutor is like once you cast it, you're all in.
Right.
You got to be Hellbent, and if you're not Hellbent, like you're gonna get a terrible card. Oh wow! Don't misstep this.
Oh.
No, get real, dude.
It's like you're talking right to him.
Yeah.
Use the force.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly. So true in every way possible.
No, use the force of will.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go.
All right, resolves.
I mean, he might as well just have a sign above his head that says, I have mental misstep.
All right. So then he's going to crypt in response to the Cabal ritual to make sure that no Storm Ebb is there. Or no Threshold, rather. So now Gabe has 4 black mana.
Where's I think he's just going through the motions, to be honest. Otherwise, he'd bust out the mana symbols. I'm disappointed.
Oh, I didn't say that. Infernal Tutor, and there's no way that's resolving.
Yeah.
All right, and he shows him the Force of Wills, and that's the...
Still had all of these.
His hand was 4 Lotus Petals, 2...
He just drew all mana.
Yeah.
At the end, like I think Gabe wins that game if he draws one of his natural tendrils.
Yeah, for sure. I wonder if he boarded in his other 2.
Yeah.
That might have been it. Really great game, though. That was an awesome match.
Yeah, match well worth watching.
Yeah, back in the booth, I'm Gavin Verhey here with
Adam Prozac.
The Adam Prozac. That was a really great match by GCB and Jesse. Really interesting.
Yeah, I always love these types of matchups in Legacy. You see less of them with mental misstep in the, because it's far more of an uphill battle for Gabe now that mental misstep's in the picture, and every deck has like 8 free counter spells.
Yeah, definitely. It's really interesting. So this dance, this Legacy dance between the decks. Like, does he have it? Does he not? When do you go for it? When do you not? And for us, we can see it. We'd be like, oh well, if he goes for it here, he's gonna win.
Right.
But he doesn't know that.
Yeah,
So gotta ship the deck list back.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. So that was round 5, right?
4.
Round 4. Okay, heading to round 5 next.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Tons of cool stuff out there. So I think they're in extra turns. Was that maybe the last match?
Let's take a look around. Like most of the matchups, there's probably a couple stragglers. Like there's always somebody playing like